Hello everyone, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode on the road of Darth Tuba's Star Wars unboxing show. Still looking to rebrand. Maybe I'll talk to my friend tonight I'm going to be meeting, see if he has any ideas. He's a creative person. Happy May the 4th, folks. Actually, at the time of the recording of this, it is actually May 3rd. So I'm actually going to just say Happy Star Wars Month. It isn't just Star Wars Day with May the 4th, it's Star Wars Month. Why is it Star Wars Month? Well, lots of reasons, mainly. Pretty much the first 6 movies came out in May, if I'm not mistaken. And Solo came out in May as well. May the 4th. Just a lot of anniversaries in May. So I think it's safe to take May and call it Star Wars Month. At the time, this is actually May 3rd, and there are 2 really important things happening today, May 3rd, 2024. This video might actually go out a few days later than this, or even a week or 2 later than this, so if it is, my apologies. But what's going on is that we have 2 things happening. We have the 25th anniversary screening of The Phantom Menace, and it's going to be released in quite a few theaters. So I was kind of expecting it to be just in like major movie houses, you know, like in the big cities and stuff. But it turns out, no, they're releasing it quite a few places. So I'm meeting up with a friend of mine, and we're gonna go check it out and go see it. Yes, I know I'm paying money to see a movie that I pay a subscription price to Disney Plus to be able to watch. I also own it digitally and watch it on Movies Anywhere. I also own the DVD. I think I may even have a video cassette of episode 1. If I'm not mistaken, it was the last of the Star Wars movies to be released on video cassette. But nonetheless, there is something to be said about going in the theater, seeing it on the big screen, seeing it with I don't know if we're gonna have a ton of people there, but seeing it with friends, seeing it with a good sound system all around you, it's a really cool experience. And it's a 25th anniversary, so I can't believe it's been 25 years. So I'm excited about that. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is the May 3rd is also the 25th anniversary of another special Star Wars Phantom Menace event, and that was Midnight Madness. Yes, Midnight Madness. What is Midnight Madness, you might ask? Well, that was when, and I believe it was the first time this happened on a global scale, or at least a country scale, where all the Toys R Us's, or many of the Toys R Us stores throughout this country anyway, but I think it was all over the world, they opened their doors at midnight of the 3rd. And that was the official release date of all of the merchandise related to the Phantom Menace, or at least the first wave of merchandise related to the Phantom Menace. So that was a very exciting thing. I mean, consider the fact that if you think about, I know people talk about The Force Awakens, and I've said this in the past on my channel, The Force Awakens is, seriously a hyped up movie. When that came out, there was a lot of, promotions and a lot of all sorts of toys and collectibles and things that came out from, dozens, probably hundreds of different brands that you put the Star Wars label on everything. But I still firmly believe it did not hold a candle to Episode 1. You got to remember, Episode 1, 16 full years since there was a Star Wars movie. There was nothing. It wasn't, even with Force Awakens, there was a lot of other things. Star Wars was still well in the public eye. It was still very much a part of, the pop culture was still there. Episode 1, it was kind of waking up from a long sleep, 16 years. The only thing we had prior to that was the special editions, okay? So there was a lot of merchandise, and I mean a ton. I'm sorry that I didn't have my channel back then. I would have loved to have taken you on a tour of that. I did do the Midnight Madness. I went in. The Toys R Us in my town, they actually did it up really well. They had a few people dressed in costume, albeit not nearly as good of costumes as they have these days, but still good costumes. And then they had cake. They were, they sliced up a huge sheet cake for people that were there. There was a good, I want want to say like 200-300 people eventually, were there. And, I went there fairly early, and I was able to get in there. They were just handing out shopping carts to each person walking in. And we walked in there, and not one aisle, no, 2 aisles, 2 full aisles in this particular Toys R Us. And I was overwhelmed with what they had. I mean, I was thinking, oh, they'll have figures, maybe they'll, I knew what they were already selling up to that point. They had 3 3/4 inch figures. They had the 12-inch figures, the doll, collectible dolls. That's what they had. So I thought, oh, okay, this will work. Well, they had, Tiger Electronics had like a dozen different games and electronic games that you could play. Galoob had a ton of Micro Machine vehicles, play sets, heads that transformed into play sets. It was unreal. They had pod racing, like almost like Matchbox car size pod racing engines, and it was, and then they had not 1 figure, not 2 figures. They had 20 figures that released. They had 10, 15 dolls, 12-inch figures that released. It was overwhelming. I mean, in a good way. I was just like, whoa. It was and it was one of those days where I had money. I had saved up some money. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I said, I'm going to spend this much. I think I said I was going to spend $200. That was my limit. Yeah, I ended up spending up twice that. And at $19.99, $400 was not a small sum. It still isn't. So I did spend a lot, but it was really great, and it was an amazing thing to be, and it was so much stuff that very few people were, there was a lot of people buying stuff, but very few people were getting in other people's way. I mean, it was like a whole row of figures hanging from the pegs. I gave kudos to the Toys R Us team for doing what they did. They had the music playing. It was an event. It was such a cool event. And there have been, Midnight Madness since. I know they did it for episode 2, episode 3. They did it for even the Clone Wars had a Midnight Madness, the Clone Wars cartoon series. After that, I don't think they had it much. I know Force Awakens had a big one, so that was good. But episode 8 had one as well. But by now you can see that I think people were getting their fill of Midnight Madness frenzy, so it really nothing really kind of came of that. It wasn't as big of a deal. And then by the time I think I went out episode 3 or episode 9, I don't think there was any. I think I kind of went around. Sorry for the glare. I feel like, hey, it's a J.J. Abrams movie. Sorry. I went out, and I honestly believe there wasn't anything. There wasn't anything there. It was just one of those kind of disappointing, But at the end of the day, that nothing compared in any of them to the first episode 1, Midnight Madness. So that was a cool thing, and I just wanted to take some time to talk about it. So I am on my way now to my local theater. My theater is always like a huge pain to get to because I don't have a theater in my town. I have to drive to the next town over. So it's like a 25-minute drive. That's an extra hour in your night just getting to and from the theater, which is sad. So, but you know what? I kind of have a feeling that a lot of these places are gonna probably doing better with releasing old, tried and true movies, since it's really hard to have a sure thing with new movies. It seems like they're just not as many people going out to the movies as there used to be. I think COVID kind of really hurt that business model, but we'll see what happens as time moves on. In addition, now we're going to what's called a Reading or Titan Theater. I think that's the brand name. There is, however, one promotion. I don't know if Titan will have any promotional items like a drink or anything. However, there is one that I'm considering getting. I'm a little sticker shocked at the price. But AMC cinemas, AMC theaters, are actually doing an R2-D2 popcorn bucket and sipper. It's all one thing. It's $49.95, which I'm a little bit, that's a little much. But it is a cool looking thing, so I'm actually thinking, okay, maybe I will take a look at that and see. Now, that means I have to go to an AMC theater, so what I'm going to probably do is go see this film in this place. And it's not a long drive to get to the other theater. And hopefully they'll let me in, even though it's a little after the last movie showing. But they might, since other people are going to be in the theater, I'm kind of hoping that they'll let us in to do that. So we will see. I'm going to take this bypass here. All right, let's see how we do. So weird to see that on the marquee 25 years later. Okay, I'm here. I got to talk loud because of music. I got my buddy here, Larry. We're going to be going in to see this. I think we saw this together at least one of the times. Well, we saw it multiple times 25 years ago. Yes. I was also talking, part of my video talking about, did you come with me to Midnight Madness? Yes, right? That was just an incredible, incredible experience. So I can't believe that's 25 years old today.
Yes.
That's just crazy. So, all right, let's get in here.
So the Acolyte
got the popcorn bucket. Yeah, I got this popcorn bucket. We'll see about R2. But this one, it's a tin and it has a really cool art. So sorry that it's a little dark it's hard to make out, but it's gonna be good. Thank you to my buddy here putting up some light. 25th anniversary. Nice painted art again. None of this clip art stuff.
Gorgeous art.
Awesome. All right.
We survived the Phantom Menace.
We survived. Who is the Phantom Menace though? Is the Phantom Menace the Emperor or the Emperor Palpatine? Is it Darth Maul?
No, it's Palpatine.
All right, Palpatine.
Phantom Menace is
it's
Palpatine.
Definitely Palpatine. Okay. Not up for debate anymore. So what really cool? Not here.
No, not here.
Only the one that we saw. I got a little video of it. Just when you first walked in. One cool thing that I was not aware of, is that at the conclusion of the movie, they actually showed a good, three or four minute clip of I guess it's the first episode of The Acolyte. So that was awesome.
Go Trinity.
Yes, right. I'm gonna put my thing over here. So, so that was where are you? There you are.
Where am I?
That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. That looks great.
That does.
That really does. I'm really excited for The Acolyte. I think, it's going to be fresh storytelling. It was great to see this, to see the Phantom Menace. It just brings back all the feels, but also to see that there's still Star Wars. There's new Star Wars coming on, so that's really cool.
And Jar Jar is awesome.
We love Jar Jar. Apparently, I found out one of my students told me today that her father went to school with Ahmed Best, and they were in band together.
No kidding.
So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. 3 degrees of separation. But anyway, so now, my friend Larry here, he texted me earlier in the week with a picture of the R2-D2 popcorn bucket. And that's at AMC theaters, not Titan theaters. And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of expensive. I've just had recent yard sale, Star Wars sales, where I've actually gotten rid of popcorn buckets, yet here I am again but I like the tins better. The tins I like better. I use them as waste baskets, so that works. But
we're in a popcorn bucket renaissance right now.
Yes. Yeah, apparently I did not get the Dune one. I didn't see Dune, so I did not get the Dune one, but some Star Wars fans apparently are getting it and using it as the Sarlacc. Apparently. So, do that
among other things.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Anyway, so this is a family-friendly channel. So back to R2. So, after thinking about it a little bit, I'm like, I guess I could, the Bridgewater AMC theater is not too far from here, so I think I'm going to take a ride over, and I think I'm going to let fate decide.
Yes.
If it's open enough that they'll let me in,
yep,
and there's an R2 bucket that they sell me, I'll buy it. If they don't, then I'll know that it was not meant to be, and that's fine. So that's my final mission. I'll report back. Well, they are showing the movie, but no R2-D2 popcorn bucket, which is perfectly fine. It is not meant to be. I am not disappointed whatsoever that I did not spend 50 extra bucks. So that will do it for this episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars show. I gotta come up with another name because it isn't always unboxings. I know that. Thank you, Red 5 Network, for supporting the channel. Check out all the other content on Red 5. And until next time, folks, may the fourth be with you. May the toys be with you. May the collectibles be with you. Take care.